What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to show you guys another section of my movie collection. Let's do it. So I rearranged things a little bit to make myself some more room. Today we are focusing on row 3, section 1. All right, pal. You got to get out of the way. Thank you, sir. All right, so row 3, section 1. It's that guy right there. Let me get them things pulled, and I will show you what we got. Let me start off by saying I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe as usual. All right, so it's been a few weeks since I've actually done this with all the content that I put out in October. Since the last time I did this, I removed all of my non-horror DVDs from my shelf, bought another shelf solely for those, and spread everything out. The reason I did that is it was getting to the point where all of those other movies were basically in the way. If I were to go out and have a Dollar Tree haul or go buy a couple movies somewhere, I literally would have to spread everything out and move a couple hundred movies to put away a couple movies. So that tends to get annoying after a while. And when you have like a big Dollar Tree haul or a big haul of any kind, it becomes very time consuming. So I spread everything out. I jumped from somewhere in the middle of row 2 all the way down to the beginning of row 3, but I didn't skip any movies. The thing that's actually the first item on that shelf is the last item that I did in my last section of my collection video, which is the Hammer Films box set. I already talked about this, but real quick, I'll just tell you that the films that are on here are Maniac, Die Die My Darling, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, The Gorgon, The Revenge of Frankenstein, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Those are are the movies that are on this set. Now we'll get into the new things that I have not talked about at all yet. All right, first up, we have Hansel and Gretel. Haven't watched this yet, and there's a newer movie out along the same lines. I think it's called Gretel and Hansel that I also haven't seen yet. This is a wickedly brutal classic in the vein of Hostel and House of a Thousand Corpses. So that sounds like something that I really need to watch. I liked House of a Thousand Corpses and I liked Hostel, so I gotta get that watched soon. All right, let me put these back down in order. All right, next up is M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening. I watched this right after it came out. I don't remember this movie being particularly great. I like just about everything that M. Night Shyamalan does, but I don't. This one, I remember it having something to do with breathing or something in the air. Made people go crazy. All right, in this heart-pounding apocalyptic thriller from M. Night Shyamalan, the writer and director of The Sixth Sense and Signs, an unstoppable event threatens the world's population by attacking the most basic human instinct of all, survival. Academy Award nominee Mark Wahlberg stars as Elliot Moore, an ordinary man trying to save his family from a terrifying invisible killer. As Elliot discovers the incredible possibility of what's happening, it is clear that no one and nowhere is safe. So I got to go back and do a rewatch of this. I actually have something in mind recently, which is going to make me watch this. So one of these days I'm going to get to that. Not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to watch it again soon. Next up is Happy Birthday to Me. I just bought this in July, earlier this year, July of 2020. My birthday is July 21st, and I had every intention of watching this movie on Shudder, actually, and doing a movie review and my goodness, first day with my new tongue. Releasing that movie review on my birthday. And to be quite honest with you, I started to watch this movie and decided about halfway through it that I wasn't even going to be able to do that because this wasn't even holding my attention. Don't barely remember it at all. Very forgettable movie for me. I know a lot of you out there very well may like this movie. It was very forgettable for me. Get ready for a taut mystery shocker that will keep you at your wits' end and at the edge of your seat. Popular high school senior Virginia Wainwright survives a freak accident but suffers from the memory loss of and traumatic blackouts. As she attempts to resume a normal life, something terrible is happening. Her friends are ruthlessly murdered one by one. Will she be the next victim, or is she the killer? The terrifying truth is finally uncovered at Virginia's 18th birthday party, and you're invited. I just really didn't care for this very much. Very disappointed in that. Happy Death Day. This was really, really cool. It's more or less like the horror version of Groundhog Day, where the same thing keeps happening over and over and over, and the girl in the film has to figure out a way to keep that from happening. She dies. She gets killed. And she keeps dying every day, and then waking up the next morning and having to repeat everything. So she has to figure out what's going on. It's actually really, really good. And here is Happy Death Day to You. I haven't watched this one yet. I believe my son watched it, but I'm not positive. And I've heard good things. But like I said, I haven't seen this one yet. I have to assume that it's along the same lines as Happy Death Day. But like I said, haven't seen it yet. Looking forward to watching it. Next up is Hard Candy. Not exactly sure that I would call this a horror movie, even though it's pretty terrifying subject matter. A smart, charming teenage girl, Haley, probably shouldn't be going to a local coffee shop to meet Jeff, a 30-something fashion photographer she met on the internet. But before she knows it, she's mixing drinks at Jeff's place and stripping for an impromptu photo shoot. It's Jeff's lucky night, but Haley isn't as innocent as she looks, and the night takes a turn when she begins to impose a hard-hitting investigation on Jeff in an attempt to reveal his possibly scandalous past. This movie's really, really cool. I watched this a while ago. Patrick Wilson is in here. Ellen Page is in here. Patrick Wilson is the dude that's in all the Insidious movies. And Annabelle. He was in the Annabelle movies. I can't remember what his character's name was. But yeah, very, very cool. Ellen Page was Juno, I believe. Really good. If you get a chance to watch that movie, check it out. I'm sure you can find that streaming somewhere. All right, next up is Adam Green's Hatchet. This is old school American horror. This is basically, I don't even need to read anything on this. It's a slasher movie. It's brutally violent, incredibly gory. Kane Hodder plays Victor Crowley. It's awesome. This is a really good movie, and there is 4 of them. There's Hatchet 2. There's Hatchet 3. And Victor Crowley is the name of Hatchet 4. I know eventually Danielle Harris started showing up in these movies. Is it the second one? I don't remember. Let me see. I'm pretty positive she's in the later ones, but I don't remember if she was in this one or not. Yep, Danielle Harris is in Hatchet 2. Alright, so there you go. She starts showing up in Hatchet 2. Really, really cool. I like these movies a lot. She's definitely in 2 and 3. Don't remember if she's in 4. But who the hell cares? They're really good. If you like slasher movies and you like bloody movies, you gotta watch the Hatchet movies. I mean, if you're looking for riveting storyline, do not watch the Hatchet movies. But if you're just looking for good old bloody fun, those are definitely what you're looking for. All right, next up is The Haunted. I have not watched this yet, and I bought this solely based on the fact that somebody who is a YouTuber out there mentioned this movie. Sean C. Phillips is a YouTuber, pretty big following. He's been around in the YouTube game for a long time. And I saw him talking about this movie, so I picked it up. And as a matter of fact, he may even be in this movie in a small bit part. Anyway, employed as a night nurse for an ailing man, young caretaker Emma arrives at an isolated house for her first shift. The moment she enters the home, a feeling of dread creeps over her. As the night draws on, signs of a threatening supernatural presence grows harder to dismiss, and she's forced to confront the dark secrets that lie buried in the old house. So it sounds pretty good. Hair-raising. I jumped in my seat. True to life creeps. It sounds pretty good. I have a feeling it's probably low budget. It looks like it very well may be low budget, but low budget doesn't scare me. As long as it's made well, low budget is fine. A well-made movie is a well-made movie. It doesn't matter what your budget is. The budget just allows you to do more than, if you don't have a budget. All right, next up is The Haunted World of El Super Beasto. This is a Rob Zombie cartoon that I bought solely based on the fact that it was a Rob Zombie cartoon. I tried to watch this movie, and I don't even know how far I made it into it. I remember turning it off reasonably quick. Never made it through it. Found it to be completely ridiculous. Of course, it's a cartoon, and Sherry Moon Zombie's also force-fed to you in this one. Well, like I said, I never made it through this movie. I bought this just to have a complete Rob Zombie collection. Chances are I will never watch this movie. No, I will not give it a chance. All right, next up is The Haunting. This is an old movie. Who's in this? Was Vincent Price in this movie? No, Richard Price was not in this movie. Vincent Price. I don't know why I thought he was in this. Anyway, it was an evil house from the beginning, the house that was born bad. The place is the 90-year-old mansion called Hill House. No one lives here, or so it seems. But please do not come in, because if you don't believe in ghosts, there's no denying the terror of the haunting. Robert Weiss returned to psychological horror for this much admired first screen adaptation of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. I still have to watch that on Netflix. I've been meaning to watch that for a while, and I've never watched it. I started to watch it one day, and something pulled me away, and I never went back. Whatever. All right, 4 people come to the house to study its supernatural phenomena, or has the house drawn at least one of them to it? The answer will unnerve you in this elegantly sinister scare movie. It's good fun, and that quote is from Pauline Kael, 5001 Nights at the Movies. So, I know I've never watched this movie, but what I did watch was the remake of The Haunting. Luke Wilson's in this movie. Owen Wilson, not Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson, Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Lily Taylor are the people that are in this movie. I remember this being decent, but I don't remember the details of it. This is another one that I watched this, as soon as it came out on DVD, I bought it and watched it, and I've never watched it again. So I actually really should make it a point, before I watch The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, to watch the original movie that I have here, and then watch the remake, and then watch The Haunting of Hill House. That's a better plan than just watching the TV show, probably. Or maybe a worse plan, because it'll be different. Whatever. All right, last up this week is The Haunting in Connecticut. This movie was pretty darn cool. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember the young kid that's in this movie, if I remember correctly, is one of the 2 stars of the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Don't remember what that kid's name is either, but at this point, he really wasn't anybody at all. And he can't be too much of anybody because I don't remember what his name is. Based on the chilling true story, The Haunting in Connecticut charts one family's terrifying real-life encounter with the dark forces of the supernatural. When the Campbell family moves to upstate Connecticut, they soon learn that their charming Victorian home has a disturbing history. This movie is pretty good. There's a sequel to that movie that I remember watching. I'm pretty sure I watched that, and I remember it being pretty bad. It's not pretty good. It's pretty bad. The exact opposite of that one. This one I remember being pretty creepy and pretty cool. The other one, obviously not so much. All right, that's going to do it for today. If you guys want me to do a review on those movies, any of those movies, or if you want me to discuss them on an upcoming Fright Flick Friday, just leave it in the comments down below. I'll give it a watch and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks.